guys, and welcome to today's YouTube video. And in today's YouTube video, that looks odd. In today's YouTube video, we're doing another Wixo YouTube video. Part 25, I think. Anyways, let's get straight into the scenario. So, as the time is right now, it's 2024 in this world. However, one of these countries, are having an election. And the country's name is, these two countries don't have names, but this one, yeah. However, their previous president that they had is electing again for president. Hold up. There we go. Anyways, this country has an election, and the old president is also running for president. And the old president wins again. However, this country is no longer a democracy. It's the same thing that happened to China happened to them. And the first thing they do, that was kind of expected. So, the first thing they do is they easily capture a major city after their invasion. Right there. Troops swarm in a matter of days. After a week of this war, their capital is already captured. Countries are getting stronger than ever. What happens next is they take the capital of this nation, and both of these nations surrender over to them. Now let's look at this peace treaty. So what happens is this country annexes all of this country, and they take this country's upper half. But not just that, I also forgot to do this, but they also take some other areas of this country as well. For example, areas that make them just like a coastline-ish country. And they have 4 options of where they could put their capital. Here, 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 or here. Now, all 4 areas are not safe, but they will choose here since I think it's the farthest away from this country. And they also don't want to get obliterated again. So, the next thing that's happening is we gotta change something. The moon. Because on the moon, another country, 3 new countries have gotten onto the moon. The new country that's rising in power, aka the country that we just saw, an old country, an oldish country, the country that is basically the only country on this little peninsula that was made. And there is one more country that just landed on the moon. And it is the newly formed India. One of the old empire's old allies. And with this, we also got a look at this. Also, we got a race. Oh. Oops, wrong layer. We gotta erase all of this. Because they're just there. So, new bases are forming. Bases right here. The biggest base in the series, I think. No, that's the second biggest base. And it might now be the third biggest base. No. Wait. Because the old empire has combined a lot of them. Now I'm just joking. But this country right there, well, Russia did get some land, and the newly formed India has a bunch of new ones. Their biggest one being right here. I think that's their biggest one. And now the old empire will also move out of their current lands. They will move more to the side and set up a big amount of bases there. They expand this area a lot. They also link it more better up to the main area. And with this, I think they make the biggest area. The biggest base. Yeah, that has to be the biggest base. And I accidentally did this on the other layer. Boom. Alright. And we also gotta fade the color out a little. Oh my gosh. I need to redo that real quickly. That's a lot better. Let's shrink the size though and up the color. Now, hold up. So, we are back right here. Now, Hawaii has not been able to do anything in the series. They've basically just been alone. However, they decide that they've had enough of the slandering. And secretly, they were another country's base. But that's besides the point, as they make bigger land for them to stay on. They expand their land, make more areas, some islands, and they, in general, just make a good thing. They make a good island chain. And it's now time to show y'all what the country was. 3, 2, 1. That's right. all along, all of that was just black team. The black team was always Hawaii. The black team, well, it originated as its own country. However, the black team promised Hawaii freedom if they joined them. Hawaii wanted freedom, so they joined them. And that's when Hawaii officially became a part of them. And this was years and years before the black team even stepped foot on Earth. And on every single island, there's a city. At least one city. See this small island? It has 2 cities. The biggest one has the most amount of, But they finally have expanded land, and they now won't be left out any longer. Oh yeah. And there is only one part of the old empire's old ally remaining. They forgot about it, the old empire. When they asked for the old empire to join the alliance. This is pretty much how it went. Hey, can I join your alliance? Old empire? Wait, you're still alive? Iberia? Yeah, we still had our island claims. The old empire. Yes, of course you could join the alliance. Yeah, they were just so happy. They became the happiest nation out of all of the countries. So, what happens? They join the alliance. With their alliance being right here. Anyways, the alliance layer is now down. So, the next thing we're gonna do in this scenario is a war. Yep. Finally, a war. And this war is in Finland. You see, Finland in this area hasn't really kept up that much stability. Yeah, they just ignored it. And also, the whole entire island of Greenland was ignored too. So, what happened? Rebel time. Yeah, there's now rebels. Now, Finland, before it was too late, did see it, and they did give this area some sovereignty, but it's mostly just that. But now what happens is, this area wasn't kept up, right? So they come straight in here. And they've already decided where their capital is gonna be. They zoom straight to where their capital is gonna be. And they take their capital. Well, where their capital will be. If this nation succeeds. And at this point, they've already set up the government, which means now it's not a rebel anymore. It's a war between Finland trying to get their claims back and them. And they already burnt out a lot of forces. Wait, did I say Finland? I meant Nordica. My mistake. I forgot to color this. So, they will be successful up here in the north in taking all of it. While in the south, well, the southern-ish area, Finland reclaims a lot of land. Then in the capital area, all the troops that were in the capital before this spike up to cut the forces in half. Now with troops up here enforcing this area, and troops here destroying this area, both of Finland's areas are now completely gone. Now it's just these. And they decide to keep these areas like this. They starve the forces. They don't give them water. And when it shrinks, it's not troops backing up. It's them slowly running out of hunger. Well, running out of not oxygen, but you get the point. And then there's one last soldier who fights. And magically, this soldier wins. This one singular soldier spreads. He goes. He captures everything. He goes to the capital, destroys it, goes back to this other major city, destroys this. And it looks like they're actually going to... Alright, let's look at this peace treaty. So basically what happens is they just take everything. And also, I know that the color is outdated, so let me make it not outdated. There. Oops. Alright, I've done it. So, the next thing that I'm gonna do is, well, you'll probably know this. Actually, anyways, the next thing is about sowing land. So basically, well, but the country of northern North America, which I'm just gonna call Alaska, has their land a little separated. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. So, what they do is they give it to the newly born country for free. As I'm looking at this, it just looks familiar. I can't put my finger on it, though. Alright. So, what I'm gonna do now is a war. And this will be the last event of the episode not counting the cinematic scenes. And at this point, the time isn't 2024 anymore. It isn't 2025. The date is Thursday, July 30th, 2026. The exact day of today. And I'm speaking like this because something shocking happens. What happens is China declares war on two countries. And both countries have at least some land that modern-day Indonesia has. They attack this country and this country right here. Why is that so groundbreaking? Because the old empire is doing the exact same thing. Yup, the exact old empire. The old empire right here. So what happens is exactly when China moves right here, not only Chinese ships are right there and land, old Imperial ships land. And what's heard is a gunshot. They don't know if it's Indonesia against the old empire, Indonesia against China, or these two countries against each other. But then, all soldiers do a recounting. The old empire is missing one soldier. And one Chinese soldier has blood on them. And then the world knows exactly what this means. The old empire is at war with China. That happened a little bit ago. However, now the old empire has a lot of allies, but China has some allies of their own. And the alliance are China, this limeish greenish color team, and let me just show you the last member of the alliance. North Vietnam. And let's just say the power rankings are different now. Let's just show you. Number 1A, the black team. Number 1B, the old empire. Number 2, China. Number 3, limeish greenish team. Number 4, Russia. Number 5, America. Number 6, South Vietnam. The number after 6, North Vietnam. Number 8, Japan. Number 9, Italy. And number 10, France. That is all of it. So, with these two countries at war, and with the alliances, there is a lot. It's not World War V, I think. We'd be on World War V. Because this country, this country is in the war. So, let's look at all of the continents. Europe has members in it. Africa has members in it. Asia has members in it. North America has members in it. And South America is basically all black team. And the black team isn't in this war. But since if you want to be technical about it, this country right here, if you want to say there's like a line here, like right here that's doing it, then there is. But this country isn't on any side. So how could they possibly be in the protection these days? Huh? Well, that is it. Every single continent is at war, which means it is a world war. We'll begin the first stages of the war. The first stage of the war is down here. Even though South Vietnam isn't in the same alliance as the old empire, it is a puppet state of it, which means it will still be in this war. Same as this big puppet state. So, South Vietnamese troops, well, they're in a very narrow area, but they still traverse the area. Now, this country is slightly stronger than this country. And just to see how it's going, I'm putting theirs down. But so far the lines that are down. So far that's what is happening. Now I'm going to put it back up because that's just a part of the first stage of the war. Now it's time for invasion. The invasion color is here. They start to take a lot. They take the northern half of China. And they start to invade. Meanwhile, the old empire is mainly focused on destroying these two countries as fast as they can. So after they immediately took China's troops, they go straight capturing the capital city. Well, they go straight. And they basically take this whole entire island in just a day. Actually, no, just under a day. About an hour under a day. Then they start immediately taking this country. And as soon as they take at least some land, yeah, this country really wasn't stable for it. So, what happens next is, yeah, they basically just take the whole entire island. And this was in under an hour. You thought World War II Germany took Denmark fast? Well, just look at how fast the old Imperians are taking all of these islands. And let's just show you week 1 into the war. Alright. So, what you can easily see what happened over the span of a week in a war. This front line was held for 5 days. And for this area, it took under 2 days for that entire area to be completely destroyed. Yeah. So, what happens next is... Wait, hold up. Let me look at something real quickly. Never mind. Anyways, the next events that happen is something big for the war. What happens is a declaration of war. And 3 countries declare war on one country at the same time. And those countries who declare war on a nation in this war are Madagascar, what I like to call South Africa, and what I like to call Southwestern Africa. Yeah, you can definitely see that I was very creative with this one's name. Anyways, with an instant declaration of war, it's so fast that this country has no time to prepare, as this country immediately defends their cities, going straight down to capture the capital of this country. South Africa reclaims the middle of their country. And they claim it was always theirs. Then sending actual military instead of just government officials and people and stuff. The war starts. Hold up. Let me look at something real quick. Hold up. No. That's crazy. Hold up. Alright. Now, after their big invasion, Madagascaran, I think that's how you'd say it, but Madagascar troops come, and they start to invade into this country. However, their invasion is strong. Their troops are stronger than they're supposed to be. Apparently, America gave them money for aircrafts, but not just aircrafts, also military planes and tanks. They gave them more of those than they originally had. And it was all so they could destroy the 3rd strongest country in the world. However, old Imperial troops are inventing a new weapon. A weapon that's not even in this world. Well, it kind of is, but it's only in a Roblox game, aka Rivals. since I like Rivals, they actually made the distortion. But this thing actually can work, but it has different abilities. When it shoots, it also destroys. It sends out a little bit of radiation around the area and kind of destroys a little bit of the area. So what they are doing basically now is they are using radiation as their weapon. And this works real well. As with the radiation, troops are able to get farther into China. They're able to expand the front line, basically take a major city, and seize a major city. But that is it for today. I hope y'all liked today's episode. See y'all in the next one.